those computers, their brains. Oh my gosh, naked baby, what's going on? Oh my goodness!
A lot of mouth breathing, which I'm not liking.
When I was pregnant, I was looking for someone to possibly help out in the first couple of nights. So when we met with Sejal, it was kind of love at first sight, someone who's so non-judgmental and caring. At the hospital, I got very confused about breastfeeding, and it was just not working, and everyone is giving me a bit of conflicting advice. So when we ride home, actually Sejal met us here an hour later and stayed the first few nights, and really has become kind of our community and our resource.
I'm going to massage your body. Sejal for us was sort of the pinnacle of our improvement for our son. We had a tongue-tied baby who had a frenectomy at 2 months, and prior to that it was pretty awful. It was very strenuous. He wasn't feeding correctly. He wasn't doing tummy time correctly. He could barely move his musculature on his shoulders up. So she was sort of the hero and the moving point for us. It was pretty much the onset of her tummy time course that we started to notice this dramatic improvement in our son.
Every time I could sense myself kind of slipping into like self-doubt or feeling like I couldn't handle something, I knew that I could call Sejal and she would come over and help me out and teach me. And I think that gave me so much reassurance as a mother that I kind of started the whole process from a place of confidence.
From early on, Sejal was great at giving tips for how to keep our daughter calm and happy. The second big piece that she really helped with was giving advice for how I could help my wife through the process. So obviously, my wife was getting a lot less sleep than I was. She was just breastfeeding for the first time, and there's not a lot that, as a dad, I could really do in that process. So Sejal actually had some really great advice for how I could help my wife through the process and make things easier. It was really comforting to be able to have her one phone call or text away and be so incredibly responsive.
Recommendation for Sejal would really be for any parent. I specifically had a tongue-tied child who wasn't reaching those milestones in the beginning, but for most part I think that any child needs to have tummy time exposure. Her lactation consultation was really awesome. For me, she was extremely helpful for just the little bits of information that I had forgotten with my first child.
Sejal offers so many different kind of areas of expertise. My biggest advice would be to meet Sejal while you're still pregnant, because you kind of then have a resource on hand depending on what you start to need once your baby's born. I had no idea how much trouble I was going to have with breastfeeding, and having someone for me to call and get consistent advice from was so important. All of her services kind of grow with the baby.
Oh my goodness, baby massages. I would say any parent, new, old, it's always an experience that you're going to have some sort of improvement with.
I feel like I've experienced the rainbow of Kindred mother care.
So she needs to turn her head and